Welcome to Hot Takes and Beer Breaks.
We were over-intoxicated and under-informed.
We're just three dudes talking news and drinking booze.
I'm John.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Justin.
All right, so spoiler for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No, we're going to do no spoilers first. So how'd you guys think of it?
Well, if you haven't watched the show, probably don't listen to anything, right?
Or listen to it.
But let's just do... Okay, Justin.
No spoilers. What'd you guys think of it?
It was fine.
I thought it was good. Not as good as WandaVision, but very enjoyable. If you like the punchy fight stuff, It's a show for you.
I enjoyed it very much. It ramped very well. Okay, now that we got past that segment, let's go into spoilers.
Okay, full spoilers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Don't you mean
Captain America?
the Winter Soldier?
Spoiler. Oh, wait.
And announcement that Captain America 4 is in the works with Anthony Mackie as Captain America.
Nice.
That's awesome. What'd you think of the suit?
I was about to say the suit. I thought it was pretty baller.
It was really good.
I think they need to go full helmet, though.
Do you?
Yeah,
I don't think so.
You need to cover it. Like, that's just open skin. Like,
Nah, I don't. I think he looks. I think
he'll probably have other variations with a helmet, but like that's exposed skin.
Yeah, but it's really comic book accurate.
Oh, is it? I haven't seen the.
Yeah, it looks almost. The only thing is, so a TikToker I'm gonna talk about. His name is Straw Hat Goofy. I'm gonna link to him below because he brought a lot of very. He thought about this show much more in depth than I had thought about it until I started seeing some of his content. And I want to ask you some of the questions that I thought about after watching his stuff. So I'm going to link to his stuff below if you guys want to check out his page. Really great. So basically, he brought up the point that it's almost exactly the same as the comic book. Everything looks the same, the wings, everything.
Oh, and the suit?
Exactly, except for the suit has two wings coming off the stars instead of 3 in the comic books. And he says it might be a nod to Captain America, like his passed away friend, Captain America, Steve Rogers, because I guess flying formation of like
flying V's, like ducks? Something
when they do like a flying formation, they do an odd formation or something. He breaks it down much better. But other than that, the suit looked great in my opinion. Right?
I was, because towards the end when he was like practicing with the shield, I'm like, okay, yeah, like you're doing the flips and everything. That's cool and everything. Because I was really excited to see the shield combo with the flight suit.
With the wings?
Because that was the coolest part of Falcon to me.
The part where he put the wings in the ground.
Oh, and then held
his ground.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that was really unique when he put his wings together with the shield to hold themselves. Jason, what did you think of the costume?
I did enjoy it. It was nice.
It was nice, yeah.
I liked early on in the show, they had him physically repairing his wingsuit to show that he's not just somebody who was given these. Like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he earned them.
Yeah.
Now he has probably vibranium wings. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Matches the shield.
Yeah. So
they did make him look like freaking wide as hell. Like, he was looking buff.
He did look big.
Yeah.
He was holding his own against super soldiers. Let's talk about that because Anthony Mackie Falcon is going to be a black Captain America.
Yep.
The show talked heavily about Isaiah Bradley and his story as being a super soldier, but being kept secret from the government because the government didn't want to show that they had black superheroes.
And also he tried to save his people that were going to get bombed because there was going to be a government cover up. Yeah. So that was why he got like
disbarred.
Yeah. And put in jail.
But it was a really interesting story. And it talked about how black Americans in this country have been treated, especially how their representation in war isn't really recognized. You know, I think we saw this in real life with the Red Tails, right? They didn't get.
They even mentioned that in the show.
Yeah,
he's like the Red Tails came back and then they're just living in poverty.
Yeah, and they weren't recognized until years later. African Americans were Black Americans were experimented on. I believe that's a true story in today's thing that we don't really talk about. So Isaiah Bradley's story was really, really interesting, and that story of no black American should want to be Captain America. No one should be proud of that. But Falcon changed his mind. Sam Wilson changed his mind and now he's Captain America. And everyone's really proud of it. Everyone just kind of accepted it. What did you think of that?
I mean, they didn't really accept it, but he also did the thing of, this is who I am. This is what I'm doing. Either be with me or be against me.
Yeah. What do you think, Jason?
Yeah, no, he basically made you accept it. Say, yeah, get on board or not. Fuck it.
He had a really great speech at the end. Very Steve Rogers.
No, that was all Sam.
No, I'm just saying, like,
he said the word shit.
You know how like Steve Rogers kind of says a speech that captivates everyone. Sam Wilson did the exact same thing. Not the exact same thing, but you're right. He had
that inspirational speech at the end.
He's the perfect person to follow up Captain America.
Yeah.
I think he's the perfect person to take on the mantle of Captain America. I think he represents America today.
I mean, just don't get him in a room with B-Rabbit because he's going to get spanked in a rap battle.
Call back to
when he was Clarence.
Nice. But I thought that story was really interesting. Talked about a lot about race relations in America and how people view. And so this person, Straw Hat, I just said his name, Straw Hat Goofy, TikToker, he brought up the point that I saw him bring this up. I don't know if anyone else has, but he talked about how the first Captain America they tried to anoint, what was it? John Walker?
Yep.
The one the government appointed.
Yeah, that was Wyatt Russell. Kurt Russell's son.
Did you notice he was propped up by black Americans the whole time? So his wife was black. His best friend was black.
Yeah.
He was given the shield only because Sam Wilson, a black American, didn't want to take up the shield of Captain America. And he was seemed to be the face of America because he's this white, blonde hair, blue eyed American.
And also his downfall was killing an unarmed man.
Yeah.
On camera.
Yeah. So another parallel, but really interesting. He basically, the Straw Hat Goofy brought up the point that he's a typical white American. He thinks he's pure and good, but basically he's built up off of black Americans' accomplishments.
Like Forrest Gump.
Sure. Yeah, I guess
there's an old crack video where Forrest Gump did all the things that black Americans did throughout history. And he basically he replaced what they were doing.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's really
basically
parallel.
like Elvis, like he taught him how to dance.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Forrest.
That's fair. So yeah, it talked about how John Walker is what America thinks it is with this white American, but they're built on black Americans' accomplishments. And Sam Wilson is what America actually is, which is basically.
I don't know. I think John Walker was spot on to what America was.
Okay.
Built off of alpha black Americans' accomplishments,
but deeply flawed,
fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
And seeked power over, and then doesn't know how to handle it and crumbles when it's most important.
Yeah, that's a pretty good parallel.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good, interesting point.
Now, more importantly, do you think Bucky is going to keep hitting on Sam's sister?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bucky's real progressive,
dude. Yeah, it is funny. You got to think about it. He's from the 20s.
Yeah, like he's
100 years old.
He was flirting with Sam's sister. Also flirting with the Asian woman in the beginning. Wasn't he? He was doing some other things.
I thought he was going to start flirting with the Wakandan.
I thought they were going to have a secret romance too.
White Wolf, baby.
Yeah. Bucky, real progressive.
He's a man of the people.
It was cool to see his comeuppance too. Like everyone kind of respected him. You know, he's not recognized as the Winter Soldier. He's recognized as Sergeant Barnes. You know, so that's cool.
Pour one out for him because he's still a sergeant after all this time.
Yeah,
you think he'd rank up a little bit.
Jason, what'd you think?
I'm not gonna lie, I spaced out for like 2 seconds there. I missed what we were talking about.
I just caught him.
Do you guys think that Bucky was nerfed a little bit?
Oh, like because there was some
he wasn't as like hardcore powerful as in like
I mean I would say the Winter Soldier, brain controlled, has no remorse, is going to kill you. Bucky is looking to incapacitate you. He's not looking to hurt you at all. So yeah, I think I would say he's nerfed. I did see a lot of parallels. It was Bucky when you fight him as when he's the bad guy, and then Bucky when he's the unlockable character, and it's kind of like, you know, he's not as good.
He's weak,
but still cool. You know,
I did not think. Oh, excuse me. I would like the show as much
without Bucky.
No, in general, the whole thing.
That's fair. Yeah, I had very low expectations.
The villain was very compelling. She was flawed yet you could understand where she's coming from.
Speaking of the villains, I want to bring up the Flag Smashers. What do you think of their movement? Did you understand it?
If the way that Sam described at the end, the fact that she was able to get so many people in so many different countries, she has to be talking like there has to be something good with what she's saying.
Yeah, I think her movement it starts off as a really good movement.
Mm-hmm.
What it is basically, if you guys haven't seen Infinity War's Endgame, I mean, if you've come this far, you definitely have. All the people that were in impoverished countries and migrated to Europe and America and all these other countries with more wealth, because after the snap or the blip, these countries needed a workforce to help them rebuild. Yeah. And they were welcomed into the country and they were accepted and they were having lives. And then 5 years later, when the Avengers brought everyone back, they're getting pushed out and they're being sent home and they're like, get out of our country. We don't want you here anymore. And they want a place. They're like, no, this was our home. We want to fight for it. And that's her movement, right?
It's weird that like that has no parallels to real life right now.
There's a lot of parallels to work.
Also, think about it like this. There's a huge mass where they're kicking people out. What is that? Immigration? Deportation. The year is 2024 or 2025.
I'm not sure, actually. I'm not sure what the time is.
Who might have ran for re-election?
Oh, Trump?
Yeah. It all makes sense in this universe.
It could. Yeah, it could be really interesting. But their movement is that, right?
Yeah.
Pretty justified. I don't think anything.
Are you talking about the 2002 album that Justin Timberlake put out, Justified?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
No,
He's aware of that one.
Okay.
Yes.
But they have a justified movement right in the beginning. God. But it goes too far. And now all of a sudden they're starting to put their lives, instead of one world, one people, right? Which is everyone's life is important.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's our lives are more important than yours, right? They start killing people. Carly starts talking about we have to kill them. That's the only language they understand. You know, you could even see in the final episode when she's like, we're going to kill the senators. And all the people are like, I thought we were just going to capture them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of starts to lose momentum at the end. You start to realize that even Carly, who has a justified movement and you have a justified reason for understanding her beliefs, you know, is flawed in herself.
Wait, did I say 2002?
Possibly.
For Justin Timberlake's Justified album?
Yeah.
Damn, I'm good.
Was it 2002?
It was 2002.
Wow, you are really good.
Fuck yeah.
But that is interesting. Like,
you were talking.
No, I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I also think that movement can be equated to a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Like communism.
No.
Actually, yeah, it had a good idea in theory, and then people took power too far.
Yeah, so maybe it's not that the Flag Smashers should be taken at their worst values, but we should look at them like Sam Wilson is basically like, you have a responsibility to take care of these people now. Like you don't have to do what you're about to do, and you're forcing these people to do something they don't want to do. They don't want to go to these extreme measures. They just want to be welcomed into their countries that they were welcomed into 5 years ago. Like, take care of them as well. Like, so.
Speaking of the power thing.
Yeah.
The, when Lamar and John Walker, new Captain America, old Captain America, were talking at one point. They were like, would you take the serum? There was a point in it where he was like, yeah, if you're good already, you just become great or something.
Yeah.
And I was thought of the one quote. It's like, good
becomes great, bad becomes horse.
Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Well, that's why Zemo had the opinion that super soldiers what did he say exactly? Supremacists?
Yeah.
Because they become more powerful and they just seek to control that power. And Steve Rogers is the only exception to that.
Because he was pure good to start out with.
Yeah.
Like he's the ideal.
Good. Yeah. He's the exception, not the actual rule.
You can do it.
Rule?
Yeah.
He's the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. And it's just funny that, I mean, Zemo was kind of right. Like Carly did get corrupted at a certain point.
Yeah.
Maybe if Sam was able to continue, but like that's all speculation because she did keep ramping up more extreme.
Yeah. And Sam didn't want to take the serum at all, which I think says a lot about his character. You know, he's willing to fight these super soldiers, but he's not willing to take the serum. And I also think Zemo doesn't want to kill Bucky because he knows Bucky didn't take it willingly. Like, we don't know his intentions. He has no intention of suppressing anyone with that. So
he has his own demons.
Yeah.
Which he works out.
So Zemo also becomes more likable with that dance scene.
That 1 second in that stolen art museum thing.
Yeah. What did you think of the Peggy Carter twist? She's the power broker.
I don't know. Do you know who that is? Like beforehand?
In the comic books, I looked it up because power broker is basically a person that supplies weapons and powers to the world's underground. But it is kind of a character shift because she goes from this person that helps Captain America to maybe she's bad now. Maybe she was bad all along.
Do you think she was just kind of pissed that her boyfriend became like her great uncle?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
She's like, I wanted that.
She's like, yeah, that was my ass.
Yeah, but she was kind of looking at Bucky a little, you know.
She just likes older men.
She likes older men. But
and Bucky's just like, hey.
I did think a lot of people saw that coming though, right? Did you predict that?
I didn't think about that at all.
Watching the scene when she was first introduced and she's like, oh, come to my place. And her place is this extravagant art museum.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so she's definitely a bad guy. That was my feeling.
Did not even piece that together.
Oh, really?
Like, I was like, oh, because I figured like Peggy Carter, just embodiment of good. Why would she go bad? I
think that's also a point that like, just because you're family, like you don't have to do what your family does. Like maybe.
True.
I think it is an interesting twist. We'll see what the character does in the future. I'm sure she'll show up.
I honestly don't care.
That's fair.
Because like now she's going to give away like government secrets and all that. But like the real tech is with like Stark or with Stark's stuff. And
yeah, but I don't know what's going on with
Wakanda. Like the government has no chance against.
Maybe that will lead into Armor Wars because that's coming up. So did you hear about that?
Was that Don Cheadle?
Yeah, War Machine. So basically in the comic books.
Show or movie?
It's going to be a show, I believe.
That's a lot of budget to throw into that.
But Armor Wars is Tony Stark's equipment, his tech is stolen, and he has to go up and fight all these other bad guys that have stolen his tech and his suits. And he has to destroy them. In the MCU, it's going to be War Machine does it. So I imagine there's going to be some kind of people that steal Tony Stark's equipment.
More Don Cheadle in these things.
I'm excited for it. He showed up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, early on. Yeah.
So that was cool.
More Don Cheadle, people. Did they fix his back?
No, he's got legs.
You're telling young Bilbo can go to Wakanda and get his back fixed, but you can't get Don Cheadle out here to get
like. Is his back fucked up or is his legs?
Which one? He got his spine fucked up.
Yeah, but he's got those bionic legs.
Like, go to Wakanda and get the little bead put into your back.
Yeah, that's fair.
He was there. Like they could have did it in a few minutes.
True. Jason, were you excited about the show?
No, I literally had no interest in watching the show, to be completely honest.
Really?
Yeah, not at all.
You didn't even like fight scenes or anything?
I mean, it was fine because I watched it anyways. It was fine. I didn't hate it, but I had zero interest going into it.
Are you only excited about What If, the series that's going to be coming up?
Well, that's what I'm most excited for. But
are you excited about Loki?
I don't know.
Don't know.
I don't know.
What's your guys' favorite movies in the MCU?
Besides Infinity War and Endgame?
Yeah, besides those.
I would say Civil War.
Okay.
See, I like Spider-Man.
Okay. Which one? The first or second?
Personally, the OG Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. But
okay. What about MCU?
MCU. I think I don't know. The second one was really good.
Far From Home?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen that recently.
Oh, really?
I was so fatigued after Endgame. I did not watch whatchamacallit, Far From Home until like a couple months ago.
So I think these shows might actually have a problem.
Why?
So going week from week, you saw this problem in WandaVision and maybe less so in Falcon and the Winter Soldier because we didn't have a lot of thing. But I think these shows get progressively better and better throughout the week. And I'm not saying we were because I enjoyed the ending, but WandaVision had maybe a letdown because a lot of people wanted to see a big bad like a Mephisto or Nightmare or whatever. As
talked about in the previous episode where we talked about WandaVision, I did not look any further into it besides what I saw on screen.
That's fair.
I did not think
I got into it. I'm just saying that I think these shows are starting to become very build up, and then it's just kind of regular. You know what I mean? Like, I think people expect more out of it than they're getting.
I disagree. I'm
not saying it's not good.
I think it was completely satisfying show. Like, it was to show the in-between of what happened with after Endgame and what Sam Wilson was doing before he became Captain America.
I think these shows are perfect for side characters. You know what I mean? Like those, Falcon doesn't really get a movie. You know, Winter Soldier doesn't.
It
get
is
a movie.
good build up to them, because you know how like a lot of these like even like Star Wars and stuff, they have like in between comics.
Yeah,
like what goes on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
this is the perfect thing to like have in between.
I don't want them to keep falling into this formula. We'll have to see with Loki how it goes.
Well, Loki's perfect because he's like time traveling, going all over the place.
Yeah, but I'm saying
and
like
he's dead. So
possibly.
Sky's the limit. Like they don't have to worry about Tom Hiddleston.
I'm just saying I don't want these shows like, because I think there's going to be a Falcon or Captain America and the Winter Soldier season 2. I keep fucking that up.
You're doing great.
I think there's going to be season 2. And if they follow the same formula, it's like, oh, we're going to take on so-and-so and he does the same thing. You know what I mean? Like it could get very repetitive. I don't want them to fall into the Netflix kind of where season 1's really good for Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And then as it goes on, it gets, I mean,
well, they had the problem where Iron Fist was completely dog shit.
Yeah, it was.
But I could see Captain America and the Winter Soldier going for another season after Captain America 4. You do in between movies.
And just kind of be like, why are they not?
Yeah, because I'm cool with a low stakes, what are they doing in between type of thing going on.
I did appreciate that.
Yeah, like I don't need an end of the world situation.
That's fair. Yeah, you know what? That's pretty good.
And like they brought back the Leaper or whatever the hell his name was.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Like you don't need Thanos every time.
Yeah. So maybe the shows are good for that, where it's not an end of the world situation, but
it's perfect to bring it back down, because it went from literally Thanos, who destroyed half the universe, to now like, oh yeah, a lot of these politicians are going to get killed. Was the big ramp up to the end of this one. I like that. I need a break from when the stakes are so high. You're so emotionally drained from that huge go. So it's like, where do you go up from that? Do you keep ramping? No, bring it back down. You got these here. Yeah. Sam Wilson's not super powered, but he does have an arsenal to fight people who are super beings.
He does a really good job. Yeah.
So like,
okay,
you don't need, and like, he's not full CGI. He's not all that. Like you can have, or he basically is full CGI when he's flying around.
Yeah.
But you don't need all that. You don't need a world ending. You just let him rock.
Yeah, I that was a lot of my complaints in a lot of the movies. Is just like, why are these world ending events? You know what I mean? Like, and then they're world ending events and it's one character's taking it on. You know what I mean? It's maybe it's subject to that area. So that's a good point. You know, these shows can definitely focus on that. So
I have an idea. Think about it real quick.
Okay.
Which, Jason, you as well, which MCU movie do you think would have been better off as like a 7-part show?
Which MCU movie would have been better off as a 7-part?
With the same like budget quality of WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I'll say Iron Man 3, because I don't think Iron Man 3 is a lot of people's favorites. But if you were to have a movie where you got to delve more into Tony Stark's PTSD and you kind of deconstruct that a little bit more, maybe that would make it a better movie, or maybe better representation of what he was going through.
See, I would have said either Iron Man 2 or Thor 2, because Iron Man 2, there's so many characters built into it. None of them really had their time, it seems like, because you got Mickey Rourke or whatever his name is. Not Mickey Rourke. Whatever his name is.
Whiplash.
And then you got Justin Hammer, which those two alone need more screen time to flesh out their characters.
Okay.
Plus you just have like the movie after Iron Man to like really develop more of a character type of deal.
Jason, what do you think? What movie you got?
And more Don Cheadle.
Fair.
I really don't know, because my first thought was Thor 2, but I don't think that would have been any better as a miniseries than it was an actual movie.
It was a little weird of a
The only reason I could see it going as a series better
is to build a little bit more background with the Dark Elves.
I was gonna say more for the Infinity Stones to explain them more.
I like Jason's point though about because that wasn't really explained. Like those villains are very forgettable.
What's their name?
Malekith.
Yeah, the only reason I remember that is because of how bad it was.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the only thing to like kind of build a bigger picture around like the 7 worlds in that movie. But I mean, other than that, I have no clue what would be better.
Yeah,
maybe Civil War.
That's also another thought I had with Civil War, but I couldn't. I have no fun.
Even though it's a really good movie, Winter Soldier would be able to. Could be played out as a show.
There is a lot of movies you could delve in a little bit more, but at the same time, those are pretty like Civil War and Winter Soldier are really good on their own.
Yeah, it's hard to take a movie that's really good on its own, but you could also see how you could develop things a little more. Civil War, yes, you give Zemo more time.
You know what? Listeners, email in, message in. Is there an MCU movie you think would do better?
Or any superhero movie.
Okay.
Any movie.
Anything.
Anything that could be a better TV show.
This podcast
is a TV show.
Let's limit it to MCU. So anything in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, do you think would be better as a miniseries? Because that's going on right now.
7 to 8 episodes. Or 7 to 9 episodes.
Hulk.
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think Hulk would even be a good movie on its own.
Okay. Fair.
Yeah.
Something to think about.
I'm not going to elaborate anymore.
Any final thoughts?
No.
8 out of 10. Quality.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good.
8 beer breaks out of... Oh, so what are we drinking today, boys?
We're drinking the same thing.
We're drinking the same beer that we were drinking the other time.
Well, the episode is going out after this episode, so...
Oh.
We're drinking the same beer that we're drinking next
We're drinking
episode.
water.
All right. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for listening. Watch Captain America and the Winter Soldier. Bye. Thanks for drinking with us. Find us at Hot Takes and Beer Breaks on social media and wherever you get your podcasts. Cheers.
Adios.
Bye.